Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name is Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
It's Fantasy Quarter Time, kids. Let's get to it. Big matchups to talk about this week for a lot of people. Coming to a close on the Champions Cup Superbru, but also we have FRD semifinals to get into. Yeehaw.
We do. And I am saccoed.
You made another one though, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I'm in the top in our pod league. I'm in the I'm in the top 4. So
Nice. Okay,
that's
there
nice.
you go.
Yeah, and just the level of competition in the Champions League. I mean, I'm not just puffing it up. It's
no fucking around. It's definitely not for the weak of heart.
Yeah.
No like doubt about that.
Yeah. It's just it's another level. So it's difficult. It's not easy at all. And
no.
And I just missed. So
yeah,
no biggie there, but I'm well in the other one. I'm third ranked in the other one. So
yeah, easy does.
Quite all right with that.
No,
and actually I'm the second best team because Dutoit Boss and I have the same record. He's just in the other division. I have almost 200 more points than he does.
Yeah, but he's just
on the year.
That happens
just
sometimes.
in the other league. Yeah, that's just what happens.
That happens sometimes. But with that, so of course Superbru naturally likes to update while we're doing this particular pod. So we're gonna see if they can stop updating by the time we're done talking about other things. With that, we'll go through the Champions Cup RD and Super Rugby and see how we landed the way we did. So big scores all around this week. Number one.
Yes.
If you didn't break, we all broke 100. If you're out there and you didn't break 100, I would be shocked because there's so many big scores. So Mark beat George. Justin, despite being all settled in, still beat Ben.
Yeah.
Anton put up a number 219 against Duncan. Sorry, Duncan. You would have beaten a lot of people this week, man.
Oh, Morbi Rayasi. Oh,
yeah.
Parafeta. Oh no.
Yeah.
Blackadder. Yeah. He just had guys.
Blackadder had a day. Yeah.
And then Tavatavanawi.
Yeah, Tavatavanawi is awesome.
Yeah.
He's been a big pickup for a lot.
You can't tell that's the first time I've actually said that out loud.
Yeah. So, I've been keying in on what the commentators say during those games. I'm like, oh, that's how you say it. Okay, got it.
It's one of those. I need to practice it.
Yeah, you definitely don't. You definitely want to. You don't want to screw that up.
Right. I wasn't expecting to say it, so there we go.
Yeah, there you go. And then I was able to get the job done against Carrick. So there we go. That leaves us with semifinal matchups. So in the top end of the bracket, I get to do my best to take down Justin. I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to find out. It's over 2 weeks, so we'll never know. Yeah. And then Anton and Duncan are going to be in the other out of the semifinal for the Sacco. So here's the clear thing. Let's just be clear. If you're in the Sacco, you want to get this done because you get the points if you get it done. If you're in the championship for the Sacco, it's not a good thing. It means you lost.
Right.
If you're in the final week for the Sacco, it means you're in trouble. So yeah, it'll be Mark and George, and then it'll be Carrick and Ben. Right. So that'll be interesting. Speaking of points, I actually tallied up. Let's see if I can find it. I tallied up. Yes, here we go. Haha. I can tell you who scored, and it's long coming. I was kind of asleep at the wheel. Shocker of the day. These kids are killing me, man. I'm telling you. I love them to pieces, but they're just absolutely running me.
So much work.
Six Nations stuff. So TRM points were awarded as Mark got 5, Ben got 4, George 3, myself 2, Anton 1, and the rest of the gang ended up getting donuts. Donuts. Okay. For FRD, so the way we organized it is we invited our second division compatriots, but we're only awarding the points for the top division players. As we go through many iterations of this, we'll figure this out, but I figured that was the best way to do it. So for League 2, which is the one that featured George winning, he got 4. There were no points awarded per second because there was a D2 guy. Myself got 2, and then everybody else was stuck on a donut. There would have been one other point awarded, but it was actually another D2 guy that got 4th. But League 1, Ben got 4. Justin ended up with 3. We had a D2 at 3rd, so no points awarded there. Anton picked up a point, and then everybody else stuck on 0.
think I'm feeling like I'm pretty clear of relegation.
Oh yeah, you would be. Well, we're gonna
at this point.
We got to probably ring fence this year because we haven't had a
Yeah.
lot of, and partly due to me not being able to, rally the troops as best as I could.
Yeah,
but
it happens.
we haven't had the participation I was hoping for in D2 on certain comps. So, as much as I'd like to say that we can award that, so yeah, I will tally the overall standings.
They don't have the appropriate facilities, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have the previous standings. I'll tally those up and we can put some numbers out tomorrow to see, hey, this is where everybody stands. In the meantime, assuming this is still updating, which it definitely is, let's do a little this or that for semifinal week. Woohoo. Damn. All right. This will be interesting because
Ohio West. That's my 10.
Yeah, right. So let's start with our brother in the props. I only have one left that's still in. And I had the sad thing is people will call bullshit. I mean, that's fine. I did have an inkling to maybe possibly grab Priso. But I thought, no, Genj and Furlong were the winners.
I had to make strategic changes so that I had kind of made certain changes going into this past week to prepare for this week too.
Not bad.
I had to make Bevan Rod. I wanted to switch out, but I didn't because I'm like, well, no. I didn't quite cut Jalanche because Mercer. I didn't think he was going to win. I just thought he was going to score a bunch. There's certain things that I did that kind of prepared myself and I didn't cut Harry Randall, but I didn't have to because Anton Dupont's going to start. So no big deal.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting for me. I have 7 not playing this week. 7 players that are out. So and you get 8 transfers. So got to hope the rest play. So for the players that are left, do you maneuver yourself to get in there for a serial buy, or are you gonna maybe go with there's 2 offshoots I'm thinking here. You can either go with serial buy or you could go with one of the La Rochelle props, Antonio or Priso.
Right.
Those are the 2 that I'm thinking.
I wouldn't go with Antonio because he doesn't no matter what, you need to be a runner and he's not. So
it's got a nice average, 8.5 points.
Yeah, he makes a bunch of tackles and does some good shit. I guess that's not bad then. Fuck.
No. I mean, last week's game from Priso ballooned him a little bit for his average, but
because at that point, if you go with buy, you're gonna have to drop another prop next week,
right?
Or whenever the next round,
right?
So I don't know. I'll have to.
Yeah, that's Antonio's got an average of 7, and Priso's got an average of 8, almost 8.
Yeah,
so not bad.
Not terrible.
No. But Furlong's is better. It's just over 9.
Yeah.
And so is buy. So
but there's but one of them is gone. So you maybe it depends on what you do with the rest of with the rest of your lineup.
Yeah, or I mean, I had Gomez Sa until this week, so maybe you go back to something like that as well. That's an option. Neither one of them are going to be amazing.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, buy is buy. Fuck, I have.
Buy's from Toulouse. Yep.
Okay.
Toulouse. Yep, you're on it.
All right.
You're on it.
I was like, why wouldn't I go with one of the Rossing props? And I'm like, I don't even know who the Rossing props are.
Like probably not or Kanye, but he hasn't started yet. So So there's that. The hookers. Are you taking? Let's phrase it this way because they're both very good. Either way you cut it. Are you taking the Leinster hooks or are you taking the Toulouse hooks?
Well, okay, put it this way. I have Kelleher on my bench right now. Montoya start. I'm probably just gonna switch Kelleher in and not drop Montoya. If I can avoid dropping someone, then I'll do that.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd have any problem with that. I don't think there's any reason to, it's not, there's no guarantee that Keller is going to score well. There's no guarantee that any of them are going to score poorly. It's just, that's out of convenience.
Yep.
So, but, I'd still lean towards Kelleher. I like Toulouse. It's going to be a fun matchup. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't think there's any stopping Leinster, but I'm like, there's also not really much stopping Toulouse. So, yeah, that's kind of a coin flip there to me.
There you go. If you had to pick, are you taking Pierre Bougary or Camille Shah?
I don't know, because at the end, like, I think Bougary will play more, so I think there'll be more opportunities for points in this particular match, and because Shot doesn't
and Bobigny's a decent backup for him as well, so that helps.
Right,
that helps Rossing, I should say. It doesn't help his appeal,
and that's the point. It's he better score in a brief amount of time. He can't, be one of those wait to the end guys, because it's not going to get there.
Right. So are you going to take? This will be fun. Are you taking James Ryan, or are you going to take Meafu from Toulouse?
I think I'd go Meafu, because I think there's more opportunity for him to operate in space. I think that's really it, because he could go for a scoot and get a little try assist action, and I see that happening more than
James Ryan.
Yeah. Right.
Will Skelton or Thibaut Flamand?
Well, Thibaut Flamand used to be a fly half.
That is the one thing I find really annoying about these broadcasts. We know. Shut the fuck up about it. God damn. I get it. It's a connection back to England. We know it. Shut up and call the goddamn match. Like, God damn it.
Well, that's why I like saying it around you.
So beaten to death. Like, good Lord. Oh, are you trying to annoy me? Because you're doing a really good job of it. Like, fuck, shut up about it.
Holy shit, the New York Rangers just scored like 3 straight goals. Awesome.
They scored 2.
Yeah.
I've run 2.
No, okay. Oh, wait a minute. And then
so it's Skelton and Flamand.
Skelton.
Okay. Yeah, probably me too. Vanderfleer or Aldrit? Obviously, you get to pick both of them, but if you had to pick one or the other.
Honestly, if I had to pick one, it's Aldrit. Because that he has been, I think his scoring average has been slightly higher, and
by a bit,
yeah.
Actually, no, I think Vanderfleer by
yeah, but here's the thing: Vanderfleer had that one game at Montpellier where he fell off for 34,
right?
And then other than that, it's been 17 at most. Whereas Aldrit has been 26, 20.
Either, so
yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, but
either or, he's there. Yeah, it's more
good news is you don't have to make that decision.
Exactly. Go with both, and then make a decision next week or next round.
Who's your third player into your back row? Is it Loré if he's playing, or is it Conan?
Well, mine, I honestly, I think I'd rather have Jalanche.
Okay. If he came off the bench, didn't he?
He came off the bench and he still scored 9.5.
Not bad.
And I'm guessing he'll want to be playing in this one. I think, and he's super motivated and
all that shit.
Yeah, all that. So but outside him, I think I probably would go with Conan.
Okay.
He'd be my other one.
Okay. So if you're trying to be a contrarian and you don't want to pick Gibbs and Parker or DuPont, would you rather go with a non-kicking 10 like Finn Russell and pick Lagrache or would you rather go with a kicking 10 and take Carvalho?
Well, I have Intamak as my 10 and Ramos as my
back three.
On my back three, and he's my kicker. That's what I did this past week. It worked out pretty well for me. So I might stick with that.
Right.
So yeah,
you have a non-kicking 10, and you have a 9 that needs to kick.
Yeah, I go with who is it with Rossing?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And plus, he's a fun player too.
Yeah, he's actually played really well for them this year. Carvalho doesn't have a lot of spark, unfortunately, and I do like him, but just doesn't have the pop that you need at 9, unfortunately. So if you're not taking Gibson, Parker, DuPont, that's probably your move. You want to go with Garach and make him your kicker.
I might consider that. I might consider doing that anyway, because I have to. He could be scoring better than DuPont, especially with the kicking and yada yada. I know it's kind of heresy to say, but I think Rossing are going to have a little bit of an easier time with it than to lose. So
possibly, yeah. All right, so let's go to this conversation.
So he'll get opportunities to kick. I think he'll get a lot of opportunities to kick.
All right, fly half. So we have 2 non-kicking and we have 2 kicking. For the kickers, are you taking West or you were taking Sexton?
Sexton.
For the non-kickers, are you taking Finn or are you taking Intamak?
I'm taking Intamak.
Okay.
Because Intamak's more likely to score himself.
Well, he did. So.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, so did Finn. But yeah, I think Intamak is more the runner, and I think he'll score more.
Midfield. Quietly, apart from the Leinster guys, Pete Aki's actually had a decent time out there as well.
He has
for the centers.
He has. He was on my bench this past.
I had all French centers, although I'm kind of wishing I had Henshaw the way he played.
I had Henshaw. I was pretty happy about that.
Not a bad spot. Ringrose or Dante?
I honestly don't really like either of them this week. I don't. And that's not a. So but I'd still go Dante. I think because he's the danger to. I mean, Ringrose.
Well, they have Batia out there. I assume that he's going to play 12.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't know that I like Dante a lot more at 12 than I do at 13. So
tough pickings there.
Yeah, that makes it difficult. He's not getting I don't think he's not getting the ball in a position where he can do the things he was doing at Six Nations.
Yep. Back three where everybody makes their money. So you got Ramos as your kicker.
Yeah.
So that's one way. Obviously, everybody and their sisters are going to have freaking James Lowe.
Right.
No shock there. And then it's a matter of finding that third name. And it's like, for some people, it's going to be you still need the extra name because they don't want Ramos because they don't want him without their kicking points.
Right.
You only got 9 Sans kicking points, I think. Or
no, it's 9 kicking points.
Oh, he had 9. Oh, okay. So that's actually not that bad. 12.
Yeah. So 12.
Not terrible, but not it's your back three. You want more than that out of that.
Right. But I had Lowe, Jonah Lowe, James Lowe, and Simon Zebo. Neither of whom. And then I had Keenan on my bench who got 13. So it's like, Ramos was my best. He was half point off of Keenan without the T and with the T. Yeah. So I feel pretty justified there. It's just that I, picked the wrong other back three.
Right.
You're not going to not pick Zebo or Lowe.
Right. Are you taking it a flyer on any of the Racing guys? Imhoff, Toma, Spring if he plays again?
I might take him on Toma.
Okay.
Because I do like him, and I think he's going to have a fun match.
Yeah, I had Imhoff.
Because Sailor's still a tough. I mean, he had to do crazy shit. I don't think he's going to have to do that crazy shit. But then again, the all French matches they get so tight.
They do because they know each other so well.
Yeah, and it's just like, guys, let loose, just play. Like, So that's the only problem.
Just do it.
Right. Just play the fucking match. You know how to do this. What, did you forget to play just because the other team is speaking the same language you do? Fuck.
Oh shit. Okay. So there's that. Let's do start sit.
Okay.
All right. Nice. I think I'm batter up first here.
Okay.
The Landers and the Force. Yep. All right. So we're going back under the roof. Highlanders and Force. So interesting turn. Sam Gilbert is playing 10 this week. I don't mind it, assuming he's got the T. That's the only thing. I don't know who the hell has the T in this whole thing. So assuming he's got the T, give him a roll. I will say this: outside backs that play 10 sound very unappealing, but if they have the T, they're actually not bad. They're solid. They end up being solid scores. They're not going to, get 40 like a Josh Morby or a Will Jordan, but
right.
They're still solid scores, 15, 18 points down the road ends up paying off fairly well. So, I'd play him if you have him. Also for the Highlanders, Billy Harmon, I give him a go. Force are very low against sevens, especially. So yeah, I'd give him a shot if you're looking for a loose forward, because there's a lot of them out there, obviously. Josh Timu, not the week to gamble on that midfield. Force are actually strong in the midfield. Godwin being one of the problem areas as well, and even Kunzel has obviously stepped up defensively for the Force. Speaking of Bailey Kunzel, Highlanders are very soft against 12/midfielders, so he gets a thumbs up from me this week. So I would give him a roll if you're out there, especially if you're kind of desperate for that fly ass spot, which things have been kind of thrown around. Lealiafano's out, no Lolosio this week, so that's kind of a damn type of thing. So yeah, if you're kind of stuck, not a bad option. Manasa Mata Ellie should bounce back. Like we said on the rugby pod, that's their best weapon. So I'd give him a total thumbs up. Ian Pryor's
have to play against him in the pod league. Yeah. no, Carrick has him in the Champions League.
Yeah, have fun with that. I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad Matelli didn't play last week then, because that probably helped me get over the line. So Ian Pryor, he's kind of on the bubble. The T might save him this week. The Highlanders are actually really strong defensively against halfbacks, especially when one Aaron Smith is the one that's wearing that shirt.
Yeah,
kind of pain in the ass. So yeah, playable if you're stuck, but just see if you have another option just in case.
Yep. All right, off to Brumbies Crusaders. Brumbies are pretty quality. They're 6th in attack, which isn't great, but they're also 2nd in defense. Which kind of makes sense. They're just a fucking very defensive team. Crusaders are 4th in attack, 6th in defense, which is really odd for them because they're usually super disciplined and don't give up much. They're not a team that you kind of avoid anymore. For the Brumbies, start the front row, even with the Crusaders record against them. Samu has come on of late. Tom Hooper is a lock playing flanker, so he could score well from your lock position. Kind of a steal there this week. Start Nick White. I'm sorry. Check that. Sit Nick White. I could read my own writing.
Yeah, you know that.
Iona is an interesting option at 10 if you really need help. Crusaders are 10th versus fly halves, so options are there. Points will be there. They're 11th versus midfield, so Ikitau and Simone are kind of bubble players if you're in need. The Toms, Wright, and Banks are very good to go. Yeah. On the other side, Blackadder and Matera are averaging over 10 points in their last 5 starts. And there's space there to attack for against the Brumbies. So give that a go. I'd stay away from the Crusaders midfield. Havili is averaging under 10, and I just don't know how long good he will play in this match. And Brumbies are really good against midfielders. Brumbies are also really good. They're number 2 against outside backs, but I'm not sitting any of those guys.
Yeah. You're not going to recommend sitting any of those.
No. Those are a start. Start. Agreed. Maybe the midfield, not so much. The outside backs. Oh, yes.
All right. The Drua and Moana Pacifica. This is going to be fun. I cannot wait to tune into this match. Hopefully Flo does not fuck it up. Anyway, from the fantasy perspective, for the Fijian Drua, Frank Lamani is back in the lineup and right back into your lineup he goes. This should be a big one for them. Moana are kind of one of the softer teams overall, so I give him a thumbs up, definitely. We've talked about it basically all year long at this point, or at least since the midway point. Moana Pacifica are awful against front row, so this is going to be one of the only weeks you feel very safe playing the Fijian Drua front row, very likely at least. So they're a thumbs up if you're stuck. Sarika Deveta, the number 8 for them. Moana are actually tough against number 8s and loose forwards in general, so I would kind of maybe find another one if I were you. On the other side, for Moana Pacifica, Lincoln McClutchy is now back at 10. Lelia Fano's on the bench. Still a good option if you're stuck. I've added him to my team personally, so thumbs up there. Tima Stowers was on my poo list. He's back in the good graces this week. Drua are very, very bad against number 8, so he's a thumbs up this week. So see, I just solved the loose forward problem right there. Funaki, the Drua are very tough on 7s, though. That's the only back row position that I have concern for, and so I'd have him have a sit.
Okay, off to Blues versus Reds. It's always blue versus red. Fucking everything.
Reds versus
and
Blues.
Now we literally have it. Yeah. Blues are somehow first in attack and first in defense. Fantasy wise, fuck. Reds are 7th in attack and 4th in defense, which makes sense. Again, like the Brumbies, the Reds are just solid defensively. Blues have not put out a lineup yet.
Jerks.
That does not stop me from saying, really, from their point scorers, you're looking at their front row, and then Satutu in the forwards. The other, whoever else is there, is a hope. The way, at least the way they've been scoring lately, they've been all points through the backs. Finley Christie is actually a pretty good look if you're in a pinch based on the Reds' defense. And then 10 through 15, just go with it. You'll be okay. For the Reds, stay away from the front row. And Scott Young, they're not.
Yeah, freaking that front row has been bad.
Without Tupou, their front row is.
Yep.
And Scott Young somehow is not scoring points. Uru, on the other hand, I will say is still good to start. He is just eating up points, and one of those guys who could score at a moment's notice. Like sneaky.
Yeah, I like him.
The Blues are 8th versus scrum halves, so Tate McDermott is an excellent option. James O'Connor is a must start, even with the matchup and the Blues being 2nd versus fly halves. Blues are number 1 versus midfielders. Reds are 9th in attack from the midfield. Paisami and Fluke, good luck. I think I might start Fluke. He's been scoring pretty well at wing, and now he's actually bringing that into the centers again. So Fluke, I think I'm going to be nicer about that because I think he'll still score points. Pataya and Campbell are decent options as well. Vunivalu is not.
Yeah. No kidding. All right. Taz and Hurricanes. So this will be back in Sydney, I believe. So Warthogs have a lineup out. The Hurricanes do not. Damn you, Hurricanes. But I'll do my best. I'll do my best to give away what I can. For the Warthogs, Tane Edmed could be a semifinal advantage this week. Hurricanes aren't really strong against 10s, and he's been pretty solid. So again, we're talking about a lot of people that might be in a pinch fly half wise. He's a thumbs up. I think I'm actually playing against him this week. Damn it. Alex Newsom should pop this weekend as well. The 15 shirt has been a problem for the Hurricanes, so he's a go for me. Assuming TJ is in the lineup for the Hurricanes, stay away from Jake Gordon. TJ is an absolute nightmare to play against right now. And something about Kiwi 9's just complete pain in the ass. And that even goes to the Crusaders guys. So yeah, keep away from Jake Gordon. If you really have to play him, have fun. For the Hurricanes, I can give you no lineup, but I'll give you the best I can. 10 shirt is a thumbs up this week. Warthogs average around 12 points with that one. So there we go. The 2 outside back spots are also goes, so I don't have a problem with that. Everywhere else is kind of dicey. Artie's fine. But other than that, man, it's like, those centers won't be awful, but they won't be great.
Right.
I'll just kind of keep that in mind. The 11 shirt is the outside back I would definitely key in on. So there you go with that. You got one? Do we have one more match?
We do. Rebels,
yes, we do. Rebels your guys
versus my Chiefs. The Rebels are last in attack and last in defense.
Yuck.
The Chiefs are third in attack and fifth in defense, which I think that's fair. I think I'm kind of surprised about that third in attack, but then there's matches where they just fucking pour it on, and that kind of makes sense. It's more of a, I mean, absolutely, definition of hot and cold, this team. And although given the opponent, I'm feeling them. So the Rebels you look for their points. They're few and far between. Their front row has actually been scoring okay. Brad Wilkin and Reese Hodge. And outside of those three players, there's not many points coming from the Rebels. So, it doesn't really matter what team they're playing. I don't think those are my only three that I'd really recommend. The rest are, you kind of hope. I mean, that doesn't mean that I'm not saying they can't score. It's
hope and a prayer.
Yeah. Chiefs have not put out a lineup yet. Boo. But their front row, Tupavai, Peter Gus, and then the entire back line, because the Rebels just leak points back there. And we know that the Chiefs can eat them up. So, outside of those, the three forward positions, the front row, Vai and Peter Gus, and then the back line. No, but I don't know that I'd recommend anyone else on the Chiefs, not knowing their lineup, certainly.
Right. Okay. We're on of the weeks. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So for my start of the week, there was a similar situation to this last year where we had probably the worst team in Australia playing against a particular team in New Zealand. And there was a player that just absolutely went bonkers against said Australian team. Unfortunately, he's not around anymore, and that's sad to say, but I think there's a couple of guys that can take a spot. So I'm going to pick one right now and say that my start of the week for round 13 of Super Rugby for FRD is Chiefs winger Jonah Lowe.
There you go. And I'm sticking with that match. And probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago, if I had said this name as my start of the week, you would have slapped me. And I don't care about that. He's been, and I'm super happy because he got cut in one of our leagues and he's been shit hot. He's one of the reasons why I'm in the championship round. And he's my start of the week this week, and that's Reese Hodge. That I don't, yes, the Rebels are not quality. Reese Hodge has been scoring lately. He's been, he's brought it back, and he's one of those, I guess what I was saying, it's tough to be a good player on a bad team. He's sorted it out. It took him a couple of weeks for him to sort out how he can actually be effective on this Rebels team, and he's there now.
Yep. All right. My sit of the week. This team's kind of been sputtering along, and this guy's playing for the wrong team, and he actually hasn't started off so well since he's returned. And the opposition is just cringe. Like, no, please no. And I don't foresee good things for this guy going against this opposition. So my sit of the week for round 13 of Super Rugby for FRD is Suliasi Vunivalu.
Well then,
for the Reds.
Funny you should mention that. My sit of the week is also Suliasi Vunivalu of the Reds.
So put him on your team. He's going to go for
50. Right. I mean, it's like I'm looking at that again. The Blues are that first in defense. They're ranked quite high against outside back. Are they? I can't recall. But either way,
he's wearing the wrong shirt. That's the problem.
Exactly, because Pataya and Campbell and Fluke are their attacking players, and Vunivalu is kind of just taking up a spot. Unfortunately.
Yep.
He's not been scoring well, and he's all the points are going to get eaten up, and there's not going to be any for him.
Woof. All right, so we do have an update for the Champions League in Heineken Champions Cup Superbru. So the update is I'm tumbling number one, but we do have the standings. They've been tallied. Duncan is still riding high, and he also got the best score of the week as well. So ouch. George has climbed up to second. Mark has dropped down to third. Shithead here has leapfrogged me into fourth. I'm down to fifth, and no movement in the bottom three. It's Anton, Carrick, and Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, sorry, buddy. Just rough old day over there for you, bud.
Yeah.
You've only got me by 3 points though, so there's things to be happening here.
Every point matters.
Yep. Definitely. Although I'm really annoyed that I'm down to third in US. And I think it's you that's got me. So
yeah, it is. I would assume.
So I'm all right, I can live with that, but still, I want to be up there. I won't be 1
2
or
and
2.
3.
But yes, 2 and 3 is not bad.
Right. But damn, I mean, look at that though. They're like
Duncan's second in the
overall
whole fucking world. So fuck.
And
and Mark's top 10
place in our league.
And so is George.
Right. We have 3 in
ridiculous.
the top 10.
Ridiculous.
Like you and me are really fighting for 4th. There's no way we're catching
either one
of them. And luckily neither of us are going to finish lower than 5th. So because Anton's not catching us. So there's clear separation.
Go with the donut. Don't do that.
Right.
Would not recommend. Okay. The pick thems, and we out of here.
Picking of the them.
All right. Champions Cup, Leinster and Toulouse. I doubted Leinster once before. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, I can't.
Especially back home.
Right. They're at home. Toulouse has been.
And I think this will be like a 2-point game. So don't be shocked at any result.
Yeah, right. Toulouse have looked human and Leinster have looked machinery. Like it's not
RoboCop.
Yeah, I don't see anybody stopping Leinster exactly, but so I got to pick them.
Yep, no, not bad. Racing and La Rochelle
hosts.
Yeah, same. I'm
I'm
really pulling for Racing in a lot of ways. You know, I want them to get. And I was very much pulling for Claremont when they were in the competition as well. You know, these are a couple teams that have just been, tormented by. They just can't get it over the line, and so I'm hoping that it happens finally.
I'm not that impressed by Rochelle this year. So and Racing, I think are extreme quality. So
yes, oh yeah, definitely. But it'll be again another match. 3 points in it probably.
Yeah,
not much.
The margins are clear, but they're small.
Very, very small. Super Rugby. Highlanders and Force under the roof. I am taking the Highlanders.
Yeah, I'm taking the Highlanders.
Big one at GIO. Brumbies and Crusaders. I'll take the Crusaders. You gonna take the Brumbies?
I think I want to. Yeah, I want to gain some. What do I have to fucking lose, right?
You're closing the gap slowly here. You got
right, and I think that this is a chance to do it because Brumbies they're not terrible and Crusaders aren't invulnerable.
No, agreed. All right, Drua and Pacifica. This one's being played in Sydney. I think the Drua are slightly the better team, and I'm gonna take them. And this should be box office either way. It should be awesome.
It's going to be quite the match.
Yep. Blues and Reds back in Auckland. I think Bowden Barrett ends up in the lineup, so I'm going to take the Blues.
I think the Reds are in. I think they've been in a little bit of a trouble lately. So, and the Blues are shit hot. So,
right.
I cannot picking against the Blues the way they're playing. No. And I can't really pick the Reds the way they're playing. So.
Right. Waratahs and Hurricanes. This one's also back in Sydney. And if this was at Sky Stadium, I'd totally take the Hurricanes, but I don't like this. So I'm going to take the Waratahs.
I am also taking the Waratahs. No disrespect to the Canes.
No, not at all.
It's that, the
Canes need it, but yeah, I think the Taz are the better team. Rebels and Chiefs. I don't care whether this could be played on the moon. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Right. I'm feeling pretty confident about this one.
I'm not played in Australia. Oops. I said before it was being played in New Zealand. I'm still picking John Rowe, so it doesn't matter. Right. Oops, totally fucked that up. But oh well.
That's fine.
It's not changing anything.
I am not confident in the Chiefs, but I'm confident in the Chiefs winning this match. That's
no kidding. And I'm sure Foot will read the Rebels the riot act here and fire some rockets up bums, but it's gonna
What do they have to play for at this point?
Oh, absolutely nothing. They're not getting in.
It's the Rockets up bums doesn't really matter. This is not.
But he just wants a better performance. That's all.
Yeah.
That's what I would want at least.
Oh, certainly.
But
yeah, you can't just
listen. Everybody's playing for jobs right now. Yeah,
that's true.
Don't screw around. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could sneak in and get past Highlanders, although Highlanders are actually starting to figure it out. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
We shall see. And Force and
the Highlanders are going to get a win this week. So
probably. Yes.
With the Rebels, not it's tough keeping up.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to keep up. Okay, so that is that. Thank you very much for all of you that hang around and listen to us and tweet and follow us and all that good shit. We really do appreciate it. And
we do.
Email us, message us, and make sure that we're not dead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, check in on us, please.
We appreciate it.
We're scared.
No. Trust me, I'm scared. Kids are gonna eat me alive.
Yeah.
Love them to death, but they will eat me. But yeah, we appreciate it very much, all you out there. Tweet at Ben or I. We will get the sheet up tomorrow. Promise. This will be up sooner than it was last week. Promise as well. And the sheet's already up, so that's the good news.
Yes, the sheet's already up on the Patreon.
That's good. That's good to go with that. But other than that, enjoy.
I didn't mention it before, but I didn't mention it this pod. I mentioned it the last pod. Sorry for not getting it up last week. I thought I did, and I didn't, and that's my bad.
Yeah, one of those days, man.
I think I swear I closed the tab. I must have closed the tab before it registered, but I said post it. I figured it.
Damn. But yeah, so tweet at Ben or I with all that good stuff. Enjoy the Champions Cup Rugby. We're back into TRM next week. All the good stuff. We'll get into that, but we look forward to doing that. But until then, we'll catch you all next week. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good one, everyone.
Later.